All right, so I want to talk about a topic probably everyone's asked me about since I started doing these videos. So I'll do it today. I'll get right into it. And that topic is building muscle, getting big, quick, right? Say you're a beginner, and this episode here is just for beginners, right? You're just starting to lift weights. You're skinny, you're small, you're whatever you consider not optimum, right? You're not happy with what you are. You want to get big. You want to get jacked. You want to get some weight. Where do you start? First thing you start with, A, right? Start with the food. Number one, if you're eating 3 meals a day, start eating 5 to 6 meals a day. I'm not going to count calories for you. I'm not going to count macros. I'm not going to tell you how much to partition of each, this amount of protein, that amount of protein. There are people who can do that for you on the internet. I'm not one of those. I'll tell you, in the most common sense, bro science way, if you want to gain weight, eat more than you're eating currently. Period. If you're eating 3 eggs for breakfast, eat 4 eggs, right? If you're eating a 6-ounce steak for lunch, eat an 8-ounce steak, eat a 10-ounce steak. The more you eat, the better. It's that simple. If you eat just 3 or 4 meals a day, supplement that with 1 or 2 times supplementing with whey protein or any type of protein. Doesn't have to be whey. Whey works quickly, instantly after you're done working out. Right? It's good for that anabolic window, which is an hour after you're done working out. You take that. But there are other types of protein that you take and will work throughout the day. They're time released, right? Like casein protein, egg protein, those are all good for you, and they work in a more slow release, timely manner, right? Those are good for you to take before you go to bed. All right, so that's it. The food is easy. If you're eating, 3 times a day, eat 4 times a day, 5 times a day, 6 times a day. Just eat more than you're currently eating, and you would know, right? If you're eating portions that are this big, eat portions that are this big. I don't have to count the calories for you. You can do that yourself, right? You don't need a mom, right? I'm just going to tell you how it's done. Common sense. This is the easiest, quickest way. I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't watch calories, right? I know if you want to get big, you eat more. If you want to lose weight, you eat less. That's how I'm putting it to you, right? But, and I never did that. All I knew was eat more than I needed to eat and work out better, all right? So I'll focus on the workout part even more than I'm doing on the food part, because that's never been that important to me. But what is important is how you work out, right? So you're trying to gain weight. You're a newbie, right? You realize, okay, I got to start eating more, right? So you do that. Now the next thing you do is you need to work out more, right? But you need to work out different, not more, right? More is not better in the lifting world, period. You got to understand that quality trumps quantity any time of the day or night, right? You want to build a certain type of muscle. You can't build all types of muscle. Guys who run long distance runners don't have muscle. They have a certain type of muscle. That muscle really has no potential, very little potential to be big. It will be very striated, yes. You'll see good vascularity, yes, but you won't be big. So you want to be big. A certain type of muscle you gotta start growing, and by working out a certain way, we'll grow that. All right. So, what is the way to work that muscle? Right? If you want it to grow big, only one way: to lift heavy. Lifting heavy breaks down the muscle. Right? If you're a natural lifter, lifting heavy is what breaks down the muscle. When you break down the muscle, you then have to grow it back. It's like a scar, right? It becomes big and hard because you're damaging that area. That's basically what you're doing with muscle. You're forcing it to adapt to a situation that it's not really meant for, right? Not that it's not meant for, but it has to get used to that, right? Whatever stress you're putting upon it, it has to get used to it. It has to adapt. And that's what muscle growth is. It's an adaptability to an outside stress that you're putting upon that muscle. right? And it has to get bigger, it has to get stronger. So it breaks, it regrows. And when every time it regrows, it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And over time, you end up, with a big muscle, right? That's the point. So the way to lift, you got to lift heavy. If you're a brand new beginner, right? You're just starting. You want to gain weight. You want to gain size. I've already talked about food. So now you get in the gym. You only do compound movements. In other words, you want to lift heavy. Don't go in there and start doing dumbbell curls, or do flies, or be laterals. Those are tiny muscles that you're looking at, and those don't grow by themselves. They really do not. You need a certain plan of action to grow those, and I talk about those on another one of my videos, how to grow stubborn small muscles, right? There's only one way to grow them naturally, right? The only people who have big small muscles are enhanced athletes. In other words, people who take steroids. Normal people, you can tell a regular athlete, a clean athlete, by the fact that their small muscles remain small. Their big muscles get big, but their small muscles get small. Enhanced athletes, even the small muscles are big. Those muscles that are nearly impossible to grow are huge on those guys, and that's why it just pops right out at you, and you're able to spot it immediately. You're like, oh, that doesn't look right. Yeah, it doesn't look right because it's not normal, right? So the way to get big fastest, you have to grow the big muscles that are able to grow fastest. In other words, where the biggest muscles are is your chest and shoulder area, right? So for that you need the compound movement called bench press, right? The shoulder up here, that's a military or push press, right? The back, you can do pull downs or rows, right? Rows go this way. You'll see machines where you can sit and pull this way, or machines where you can pull this way. Those are pull downs. The pull downs give you the wider V shape, right? And the rows, right? Either this way or this way or this way, right? Give you the thicker back, right? Power muscles. And then, of course, you got the lower body, which is squats, right? So for beginners, you're only going to do 4 exercises, and you're going to do it 3 times a week. You're going to get in there. You're going to do three sets of benching, then go down to the legs, do 3 sets of squats, right? Then you're going to come back up to either the back or the shoulder and do that next. Then you're going to go down and do maybe your calves, right? And then you're going to come back and do your shoulders or back, whichever one you didn't do last. So you're going to do 4 to 5 exercises, and you're going to do them 3 days a week. And here's the method you're going to follow. You're going to do this every single time. And say you start out with bench press, or choose a machine. If you're alone, don't go on the bench press. Don't go on the squats, because you need to go heavy, right? And if you're alone, that could be dangerous, right? You don't want to be caught halfway in a rep with a squat, with a barbell, and you can't get it all the way up. You're going to be in trouble. Same with the squat. So for those 2 exercises especially, I would suggest you use a machine if you're alone, right? So here's what you do. On the first set, right, you're going to go light. Go to about 14 to 16 reps, right? Because you want to warm the muscle up. If you don't warm your muscle up and you lift heavy, you're gonna pop that muscle, right? You're gonna snap it. It's gonna get snap shit up, as some guys used to say. And you don't want that. That'll set you back weeks, months, years. It's happened to me many times, and that's why I've perfected the system that I use. It's trial and error, right? You don't want to get caught you doing a heavy set and you haven't warmed that muscle up. You will pull a muscle. And when you do, you're done for weeks at a time, weeks and months. And it constantly happens. So warm that up. The first set, you're going to give me 14 to 16 reps, right? It should be easy. Second set, go 10 to 12 reps. A little harder, but not as, because you added weight. You're going to go to about 10 to 12 reps. Now, on the third set, you're only supposed to get between 6 or 7 reps. Add enough weight so that you can barely get to 6 or 7 reps. Strict form, do not cheat. Use only the muscle, right? And concentrate and put your focus in the muscle being used, if it's a bench press, right? Or seated machine bench press. Use only that muscle that needs to be used, right? And on that third set, that's the working set. And if you listen to my other videos, I always use this same system. It's called the working set. So that last set is the only one that's breaking down muscle. All the other ones were warming you up for that. So you want maximum effort on that third set that goes to between 6 to 7 reps, right? If you can go higher than that, you're using too little weight. Add more. If you can't get past 3 or 4, you're too heavy. Try to get to the sweet spot between 6 to 7 reps. And as soon as you're done with that 6 to 7 reps, drop the weight in half and give me 20 reps. Rep it out. Rep it out. Now your muscles will be screaming, right? But that's the way to go. So what you've done by using that last set, right? You're using fast twitch, high strength, high power muscle. That's the only type that really grows big, right? The other one's just accommodated, your long distance muscles, right? So what you've done is you've used the strength muscles, right? The fast twitch muscle, lifted that heavy weight. That's the muscle that grows. B, what that also does is it elicits a lot of testosterone, right? Your body now is being stressed, and as a result of that stress to your central nervous system, it's called the CNS system. Everyone, in bodybuilding talks about it. You stress your central nervous system, your body produces a ton of testosterone to deal with that stress, right? So that testosterone is what will help you rebuild muscle, right? Because natural bodybuilders, natural lifters, all your gain come while you're lifting, because at that time, as you're lifting, you lift heavy, you raise testosterone level. That is why I also always suggest, and I have this in another video, take some protein before you go to the gym. Take your creatine before you go to the gym, and while you're in the gym, sip some BCAAs. So that little amount of amino acids that's floating around in your blood, your body will take it immediately and put it toward building muscles while you're eliciting that testosterone pump, right? And you're breaking down muscle, right? So and right after you're done with that heavy set, which produced a ton of testosterone, you go to that light set, you get 20 reps, you just produce a ton of growth hormone, right? Growth hormones now will burn fat out of the muscle. Burns fat, use fat for energy, right? And give you the that tight look, right? Burns fat out of the system. One builds muscle, one burns fat. You need both. You need both. And that high rep set will pump blood into that muscle, and then help with protein synthesis, right? And that is the rebuilding of muscle. So you're gonna do that for the benching. You're gonna do that for the legs, right? And that's why I also say for the squats, don't do squats if you're alone. Go to a leg press machine where you can just drop the weight, leave the weight alone if you can't handle it. And then you go to a pull down, right? Then you go back to legs again, right? There are many, many methods. There are push-pull methods. There are split upper body day one day, lower body one day. If you're a newbie, you don't need to do all of that. You will make all of your gains if you're a new guy. All of your gains you will make within the first year using the most simplest fundamental system, which is what I'm teaching you. It is as simple as it gets. When I first started, I used to work out with guys who used to work out for 2 to 3 hours at a time, and we just do set after set after set, and I gained nothing until I realized I've got to follow a different set, and I cut my workout time to under an hour. What does that do? That uses the highly anaerobic type of muscle, the fast twitch muscle fibers that grow. They were making me use the distance muscles that do not grow, right? I was training to be a freaking long distance runner with those guys. Don't be a long distance runner, be a sprinter. That's what you have to do to build muscle in the gym. Keep your workout under 1 hour. Eat twice as much as you used to eat, right? Sleep as much as you can, at least 8 hours a day, right? And on the subject of gaining muscle, right? You want to take creatine. Creatine is a bodybuilder's, a natural lifter's best friend, guaranteed. It's the only real supplement out there that actually works. Tested over and over hundreds of times, used by college athletes throughout America. So it works. Use creatine. Use BCAAs. Put it in your drink while you're working out. It's a little overkill, but you want the maximum effect from your workout. You want those amino acids floating around your bloodstream while you're working out. So whatever muscles you're tearing, that will go directly for repair, right? And of course, it's small amounts, microscopic, but within a year, you'll be surprised where you are. I've taught this system to a ton of guys in the gym, and it works every time. This is the only one I use, right? Like I said, I only do compound exercises. I only work out 3 days a week, right? And on one day, I do front, right? I only work out 3 days a week. On day one, I do chest and back. Day two, I do legs. So I've got everything covered, right? And on day three, one day out of the week, I do shaping exercises. I do light exercise, and that's for arms, because arms need shape. It's the only body part that really requires a lot of shape. The rest of you, the heavy work, the heavy muscles, the heavy lifting, will build the right muscles, right? The light lifting, don't go in the gym and start doing curls. It will do you no good. You'll feel nice and pumped while you're in there, but it will not build muscle, right? If you want to build big arms, lift heavy weights. If you want to build big muscles, lift heavy weights. It's the only way to go. And the system that I'm showing you assures you that you will lift heavy, but you won't hurt anything. And B, if you lift too much heavy, like say you did on your benching, you did 3, 4 heavy sets, you're overworking the muscle. Breaking down muscle and then allowing it to grow is a fine line you walk. It's an art. It's not a science. If you do too much, you break it down too far and you can't build all the way back before the next time you work out, right? So you want to break it down just so much so that you get the benefit of the rebuild for the next time you work out, right? And if you're a newbie, you're going to do what I just told you, those 3 or 4 muscles. You're going to do it 3 times a week. I'm considering that you're also young. If you're over 40, don't do that. That's another. There's another tape I'm going to make about over 40 guys, right? Because your testosterone levels aren't high enough for you to be able to recover, so you can do that same exercise 3 days a week, right? But a younger person, if you're in your teens, if you're in your 20s, even low 30s, you can do this, right? Do the exercise 3 days a week, right? Do not go over an hour. Do not go over an hour, or else you're just burning out all the excess calories that you're putting into your bodies, and you won't be gaining any weight, right? You want to gain weight. You can do this, and you can do this fast, right? Lift heavy. And don't worry about, but you're not doing any arms. Yes, you are. On your lat pull downs, you're doing this muscle and the muscle behind here. On your rows, you're doing the back muscles. You're doing all of this. On your benching, you're doing this and this, right? On your push presses, you're getting all of this and all of this, right? And on your squats, you're getting the lower body, and on the calf raises, you're getting the entire leg, you're getting the entire torso, and in everything that you do and all the breathing that you do, you're getting your stomach muscles work. But you're not so concerned about the stomach yet. You can't get a six-pack while gaining weight and gaining muscle. Don't do 2 things at one time. You can, but it'll take years to do it, right? Gain the muscle first, and then when you're confident enough, I'll do another tape on it, on how to switch around, right? Every 2 months, you switch a routine and you do something totally different than what you've been doing for the past 2 months, right? I'll do another tape on that, and that's how you burn the fat off and you keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Nothing drastic, but you're constantly gaining muscle, all right? So that's my take on gaining muscle and gaining muscle fast for beginners. That's the way to go, right? Listen to me, trust me, I know this, I've done it before. This is the only system I've used. Remember, a natural bodybuilder, a natural lifter only has X amount of capacity, right? You only have so much testosterone in your system. There's only so big you're gonna get. You will never look like those guys, and I don't wanna be a downer, but I'm a realist. You will never get like one of those guys that you see in the pictures of guys pumping up their muscles are this big and they're doing Mr. Olympia. You can, at a afford the drugs those guys take on a daily basis. It probably costs more per, it probably take your entire month, 2 month paycheck to buy the amount of drugs those guys have to take in a single day, right? To upkeep that body. If you're not competing, you don't need to be built like that. Doing a six-pack, having a six-pack abs 24/7 is impossible. You will be unhealthy. You will get sick. You try to do that and keep six-pack abs all day for a month, you will get sick. You will get ill. It's impossible. Don't fall for the hype. I'm here to tell you what's real, right? I don't watch every ounce of food that I eat. I don't care. I let myself do what I need to do in the gym. I let my lifting do the talking, right? And I eat what I want within reason. I don't go overboard, right? So that's the way to do it. I'm going to do another one on just arms because that's the second question I keep getting asked a lot of. And I'll do that one later. But that's it. That's my advice to you. Please, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's basically why I'm putting this all there for free. Everyone can use it to your benefit, but just give me the click. All right, Bro Science, I'm here to help you. Thank you.